completion rates throughout the country. And chromium and Gamcell have got some problems. There is a similar story on the handover success rate on monthly basis. But my question is, what is the follow-up action? What is PURA going to do? What strategies have you devised to assist these GSM operators that have not been able to achieve the call set completion rate to do so?
I have a couple of observations with the figures, and I would want some clarification from both management and board, if possible. On page 6 of the accounts, that is under the fixed asset, which will refer us to page 17, fixed asset schedule. On the vehicle, is the finance man with me? Are you with me? On the vehicle, you have balance as at 1st January 2012, which is 4.7 million. And there is a disposal during that period of 1.1. I want to believe that when there are disposals, it's subtracted from the opening balance. But the reverse is in this case. I don't know why. You've added the disposal figure to the opening balance.
Officials of PURA took time to respond to some of the issues raised by the deputies.
Before I joined, the management realized that the electricity sector was facing constraints, and as a result, they decided not to apply the percentage on the turnover, but to charge a fixed rate, and a minimum manageable rate of 4 million was charged to NAWEC GEG 2.5. So this is, and you can see in our report that every year, for the last year, we have progressively been reducing the percentage on the other operators just to make sure that the burden on regulatory fees is minimized.
So countrywide, at the moment, as we speak, in the Gambia, we have a level of access of 94%, which is one of the highest in the whole of Africa. And the World Bank has noted that and even put it in their report. We are cognizant of the fact that there are some areas in Nyomi which do not have service, particularly Gamcell. And we have engaged all these operators to make sure that they are present in all these villages. But then,
speaker after speaker rose to make their voices heard, with Honorable Magasi of Basse concerned with the late-night calls by unknown international numbers.
We want to engage PURA, if possible to engage the GSM operators, to make an investigation about that issue, because it's a burden issue. Sometimes they call people that late at night.
However, I want to know whether PURA has actually exhausted all options open to it regarding its recovery efforts, so that we'll know at what point and in what manner or in what fashion the National Assembly will collaborate with them.
And also, Honorable Chair, I'm still not very clear about this raffle and value-added services, because sometimes I do receive text messages to say that dial so-so number to be part of so-so raffle, and you will be charged so-so amount. So I'm still not clear whether that one can be called a raffle or is still a value-added service.
After a thorough scrutiny of PURA's 2012 activity report, the public regulatory body was given a clean bill of health by the lawmakers. The day-long sittings could not wrap up without the National Nutrition Agency making public its annual report before the deputies. The executive director of NANA, Pamodu Fall, made an exclusive report covering activities of the agency for the period under review. The finance and admin director of NANA also presented his part of the assignment after AA and Co. gave his audited report. NANA, according to the GPPA, out of the 8 variables, the Nutrition Agency was able to comply with 5, thus rating them with 80% compliant.
I think we have to congratulate NANA to say it may not be all that easy, But it shall be the pride of the government to, if the economy was there, to make sure institutions like yours do not request and wait. But the moment you request, it comes, because it's going somewhere necessary. I want to thank you and congratulate you, and I want to say members of the Public Accounts Committee are here, and those are open to, and the solidarity is between us. Wallahi, we will endeavor to work with you towards achieving your goals.
The National Nutrition Agency was commended by the lawmakers for its impressive performance for the year under review and unanimously adopted its 2012 annual report and financial statements. Mama Jai, Grts.
The general public is hereby informed that the recently appointed ambassador of the Republic of the Gambia to the Kingdom of Spain, His Excellency Mr. Langyabu, has assumed duties as ambassador. In accordance with the protocols, a press release from the Minister of Foreign Affairs says Ambassador Yabu presented his credentials to the King of Spain, His Majesty Don Juan Carlos I, on 29 September 2013. Alongside 16 other ambassadors accredited to the Kingdom of Spain. The release indicates that during the presentation ceremony, His Excellency Ambassador Yabu also conveyed a message of goodwill from His Excellency the President, Sheikh Professor Alhaji Dr. Yajame, to His Majesty King Don Juan Carlos I. Accepting the ambassador's presentation, the dispatch from the Foreign Affairs Ministry says His Majesty the King of Spain gave assurances of the government and the people of Spain's continued efforts in maintaining and improving the cordial relations between the Gambia and the Kingdom of Spain. The Women's Bureau, under the Office of the Vice President and Minister of Women's Affairs, together with the United Nations Development Programme, on Thursday, held a day's sensitization workshop on the Gender Policy and Women's Act 2010. This forum, as Uminjai reports, attracted National Assembly members and area councillors amongst a host of others, and is intended to raise awareness on these very important policy documents.
Success is registered in uplifting the status of women and girls in the country. The Women's Bureau, under the Office of the Vice President and Minister of Women's Affairs, looks relentless in pursuit of women's welfare. In partnership with the United Nations Development Programme, the Bureau held a day tutorial on Gender Policy and Women's Act aimed at increasing public awareness on the two documents. This forum that brought together policymakers is also designed to further inform the public and other senior officials on the content of the final Gender Policy and Women's Act 2010. Positive strides have been taken by the Gambia government in mainstreaming women in development process. Among such strides were the establishment of the Women's Bureau and the National Women's Council.
Gender equity and equality and empowerment of women remain a critical goal to be achieved. The government of the Gambia, therefore, reaffirming its commitment towards this direction, commissioned the formulation of the Women's Act 2010, in addition to the gender policy. Other efforts include the development of the sexual offense and the domestic violence bills, which are in the process of enactment.
This forum came at a time when the whole world joined forces in fighting for gender equity.
This training will be done to further encapsulate the understanding that gender-responsive budgeting is an essential element in any serious commitment towards gender equality.
The Gambia government recognizes women empowerment as a key factor in the attainment of social and economic development. Therefore, this policy should be properly looked at in the process of addressing gender issues.
The gender policy, therefore, is to further establish a clear vision to guide the process of gender mainstreaming and women empowerment, as well as influence procedures and practices which will accelerate the achievement of gender equality, gender justice, the fundamental human rights of women in the Gambia.
This will create awareness in the public and private sectors, as well as in rural areas, in the attainment of national development and reduce inequality, as women play a crucial role in improving their socio-economic status. With this venture, one could bear in mind that the outcome of this meeting will give a clear direction for the effective implementation of the policy and contribute enormously to the socio-economic advancement of women. Uminjai, Grts.
20 days in the wilderness, driving through rough terrain, 54 members of the Banjul Antwerp challenge have finally arrived in Banjul for the